पूरे देश में आज रात 12 बजे से संपूर्ण देश में संपूर्ण लॉकडाउन होने जा रहा है।
What surprised me is how I think that day when Modi announced, I think every person knew. And when I went onto the balcony, everyone were cheering and clapping, and which was much needed.
India, for me, obviously is a very special country. I've been traveling the country since 2015 and I've been living in Bangalore now for more than 2 years. During my time in India, I have seen the country deal with enormous challenges, like for instance, the demonetization. We have a problem. Today, it was announced that these will not be valid anymore as of tomorrow. The banks are closed, the ATMs are closed for 2 days, I think, in Kashmir. It just feels like a war area for me, and if you watched Airlift, you know why that's a problem for me. However, a complete lockdown of 1.3 billion people, I believe that is a next level challenge. For me, Indians have always been a true inspiration with their very special mindset in the world.
There's one word that kind of comes to my mind when I talk about India. It's resilience. We are a resilient nation.
Therefore, I decided to interview 8 Indians all across the country and get their insights on this lockdown. This series, Indians in Lockdown, are their stories and their thoughts on how we can get through this COVID-19 crisis together.
His daughter is in the hospital. He's not asking you to do anything. He's just asking for one mask. That is it. And in this situation, if you won't help each other, then when will you all?
This is part 1 that you're watching. Part 2 will be published in a couple of days. So if you would like to get an update on that, you can subscribe to my channel. It is completely free, and click the little bell icon to get a notification whenever I post that video. I will also link it down in the description below if it is already published. Without further ado, let's start at the beginning. Why was this lockdown necessary in the first place?
My name is Dr. Vaishak Ravindran, and I am now working in Pathanamthitta district, and I am working here as a resident medical officer. The disease started in a province in China on around last December, and now it affected almost all the countries in the world. So that much rapid contagious is this progression of the disease. It's a respiratory disease which is caused by virus. Infected person, when coughs or sneeze, that droplets will become infectious and it causes disease to another person.
I'm Dr. Simi Mishra. I live in Delhi, which is the capital of India. We are a huge country. 1.3 billion people, a 21-day lockdown. It's a very difficult measure, but I think it's a collective measure that we have taken upon ourselves to curb the COVID pandemic. Being a populous country, our streets and parks were brimming with people about 10 days back. Public spaces such as India Gate in Delhi, city's largest public grounds that are there, were packed with people, and it's summer. So in the evening and nights, they were even busier. Now suddenly, because of the pandemic and lockdown, families have kind of just suddenly no space to go to. And these public spaces are now barren.
I have not stepped out of house since the 16th of March, so it has been really long for me. It's not that easy to contain this in a country like India, when everyone is not together.
I'm Zahir Najib. I'm the Executive Director of Air Travel Enterprises. We're a travel and tourism company, and I am based in Trivandrum, Kerala state. So the lockdown across India is absolute, in the sense it is a complete lockdown for everyone. Nobody's allowed to get out of their houses except if it is for essential services. I believe there's a whole list like hospitals, certain supermarkets and things like that, and supply of food and grains. People who are in that line of work, only they can get out again, still practicing social distancing. Shops are not allowed to just allow everybody in, limited number of people at a time, just making sure that there is very little contact with each other.
My name is Kinjal and I live in Mumbai. I was in hospital for 9 days with my child in a room, in just a single room for 9 days. I mean, it was impossible. The way we have survived those days, and the nurses and the doctors, it's not a job, not at all. It's a choice that they have made, and I'm very happy and very proud of them. I've seen nurses crying. Trains were shut and their kids are somewhere in suburbs and there is nowhere to go. The kids are, they are doing video call to their kids and they are crying. Oh my God. I was crying that day because I had my kid with me. Okay, one was at home, but one was with me. But they were looking at the kids and they were crying. They didn't know because how long is this going to go? So how will they go? So now I have mad respect for them, how they are sacrificing their lives and how they are giving away everything just to help us.
This is Skalzang from Ladakh. I'm into tourism. I own a small guest house in Leh. But because of the lockdown, as you know, everything is shut down. So I'm here at my mother's place.
I am Yangdol. I don't like lockdown because I don't learn anything at home. But in school, I every day learn something new from my classmates and class teachers. I'm Zawa and I didn't like the lockdown because I can't see my school friends and I always had to see the cousin's face, which is very boring.
I like Corona, but
Because he doesn't like school. He likes Corona because he doesn't like school.
On a family perspective, my wife and 3 daughters, including a 5-month-old, are at her parents' house. So I do miss them terribly. And it's not easy being apart for so long.
Unlike the metros, we don't have much difference. But then financially, I think because summer is coming, so tourism is affected a lot. That is the only thing that scares me because summer is the only time we earn and now it's time to earn. But then there is lockdown and it scares us, almost 50%, more than 50% of the Ladakhis. I think we're scared of that.
Fact is that we are facing this crisis together, and if we have to overcome it, we have to overcome it together. It's essential that we realize that we respect our social distancing norms, we respect each other's needs by not hoarding beyond our needs. We remember that there are a lot of people who cannot afford this lockdown, and we should do whatever we can to help them.
I'm Abhishek and I'm from Bangalore in the state of Karnataka in India. Getting access to supplies is one thing that scares me because us living over here, we're able to get supplies and we know people who can get it for us and whatnot. So, we are at an advantage. But there are people who do not have access to this. And I feel that that's the scariest part. Actually, the ones who are below poverty line are struggling a fair bit. But also at the same time, what surprised me was how people are willing to come up front and support. And there's so many initiatives and so much money has been raised in such a short span of time. So, humanity is not dead.
This disease is not only a health issue, it is a social issue also. So many economic issues is there. This lockdown is a new thing for us. Daily wage employees are a lot in Kerala. So it will become a social issue, economic issue, financial issue, health issue.
So Delhi is also a state or a capital, being the capital. It has the highest level of, interstate migration with over 40% of its inhabitants really coming from other parts of the India. Now, with no means to earn their livelihood and in the face of uncertainty, these traders, casual workers in thousands are kind of, migrating back to the villages.
Poor people especially, they are scared that if they lock us in a room, if they lock us somewhere, how will we survive?
Crisis, it brings out the worst in some of us and it brings out the best in most of us. A little less than about 2 years back, we went through the Kerala floods, And the kind of outpouring of humanity that we saw at that time was unprecedented. And we are seeing that now at a global scale.
I don't think only one person is going to suffer. I think everybody is going to suffer. So the only thing that will help is supporting each other, even as little as we can. They are cooking at home for this huge amount, and they are giving it to the poor people. Even people I know are doing that. They are making huge quantities. Like even our building staff, like the watchmen and the liftmen, we have 12 people staff. So we are making food and we are giving them. We might have all the money in the world, but today we are nowhere. We are all equal.
One woman who's in touch with me, and she said that, today my maid actually kind of messaged me saying that I want to give to the PM fund. And she was like, well, there's so many wealthy people and crores of, money is actually kind of getting pumped into it. So how much would you want to contribute? And she said 500. And she was like, well, 500 is a small amount. And she said that, well, you could kind of, save it for your family because your family would need it more. And this maid was like, no, I can afford a 500 and I want to do it. So I think that spirit really touched me. And kind of, I don't know, it really did. It really did touch me a lot.
How do we get through this together is that we need to also be positive.
Like any other human being, I fear for the lives of my countrymen. So what's the best that you can do? Because the underserved still remain the underserved. The initiative that I am, co-participating in, this is called the India COVID Action Network, or ICAN. Help seekers all across the states of India and the help givers are just connected using this platform. Go down to the ICAN website, which you would be seeing on the screen right now. Click the register button and you are registered. If you are a mental health counselor, you could kind of say my services are there for you. For example, there was somebody with a 91-year-old in Delhi, and the person hadn't eaten for 2 days. And, one of the volunteers came to know of it, and the person was sitting so far off, yet could kind of, help out. Lots of migrants are looking to kind of go back and kind of, stuck at the borders because there isn't enough of transport. They need a meal. How can we help out? So I got in touch with some caterers who were able to kind of give that service free of cost. And as soon as the network heard about this initiative saying that, there are 3,000, 4,000 food packets that are required, one of the Indians sitting way out in Austria kind of said, hey, I can fund this. So he funded the initiative. We cooked the meal. The police kind of, managed to pick up the packets and take it to the borders and distribute. Sitting in the safety of your home, you really can kind of, touch upon thousands of lives and make that difference.
So India is not letting the poor die of hunger. India is trying their level best to balance it out.
You could also kind of, fund the initiative. We do have a funding campaign kind of going on. So please feel free to kind of, fund. In case you're a part of an organization which can kind of, contribute to the AI technology and strengthen this, or a part of a telecom enterprise, and you want to kind of, offer certain services. So help us in kind, help us in person, help us by volunteering. There's so many different ways.
Hello everyone, this is 8th of April 2020 and myself Om, and I'm shooting this video in Gurgaon, Haryana. As you can see, there is I think 6 more days to go for lockdown to be eased, and you can see only few vehicles are operating. I mean those vehicles that are allowed to be operated and those are allowed to be in operation for essential commodities.
This is a new scenario for all of us, not for India alone. All the world is facing a lot of problems like lack of machineries, lack of ventilators, lack of diagnostic kits like this. But as far as India is concerned, we got a little bit of more time apart from other countries. So we are a little more prepared than other countries. So that is a positive thing for us. India has successfully treated and on the verge of elimination of TB now. So we are very well familiar with this, dealing with this communicable disease, and our primary healthcare system is awesome.
now is not the time to point fingers or blame someone or take out political grudges. Like health is an issue of utmost concern right now for everyone.
Like the policemen, the doctors, everybody, the delivery people, oh my god, everybody is doing an amazing job.
I woke up with that news that 2 doctors were attacked in Hyderabad. To think that people would attack doctors in such a situation because they are the only ones who can basically save us at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not even about common sense at this point. It's like basic humanity. Which I think we should all stop playing the blame game. If we stand divided on religion or caste or anything else at such a situation, I do not think we'll get through this at all.
This is the time when the country needs you as a person, needs your family, needs your resources, whatever expertise you have. Kind of just put it back and make a collective team. I think can really overcome this.
I always say the best thing that I love about my country is how diverse it is. You know, I always used to say unity in diversity. I think that should be our main motto even now as we move forward.
No matter how many religion we have, how many languages we speak, how many different, rules and regulations that are of our definite, like we follow. But at the end of the day, whenever somebody needs us, we all will be there for each other.
The sooner we begin, the better. A small silly mistake and things can just turn upside down.
In this pandemic, since social distancing is one of the best ways we can help, I think we should thank every person who is patiently adhering to the lockdown norms and staying at home and helping humanity in that way.
So this is how my street looks in Mumbai. It's pretty much empty, but we may have a few cars during the day because we have 2 chemists. But that's about it. The lockdown has hit us hard.
We have seen ice bucket challenges, we have seen dance challenges, we have seen fitness challenges from time to time. Maybe it's time for a prayer challenge. That we take a few minutes to pray for those who are close to us, and they pray for those who are close to them, and keep passing it on till the whole world is praying for each other. And maybe that would be the peace and serenity we need at this time.
If this video inspired you, comforted you, or motivated you, please make sure to pay it forward and share it with your friends and family so we can motivate and comfort and give more people hope. The second part will be uploaded in a few days. So again, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and also click the little bell icon to get a notification whenever I post that video. If it is already posted, I will make sure to link it down in the description below. Stay safe, stay at home. Jai Hind.